Have you ever been in a situation where someone asks you to co-sign a loan for them? Could be a family, could be a friend, could be a random person. They want you to co-sign a loan either for a car, a student loan, or a mortgage. And to you, you are just helping. It's just a signature. It's not just a signature. When you co-sign a loan for somebody, you are legally taking responsibility for that person's debt. As a realtor, I have seen it over and over where someone has been working so hard and saving money and they are ready to buy a house. And then when they apply for a mortgage, they come to realize that at the very best, the loan they co-signed increased their debt to income ratio and to qualify for less house, or it damaged their credit and so they cannot buy a house. And sometimes it increases the debt to income ratio to a point where the house you can afford is not a house you like at all. You have to wait. The reason why I'm saying this thing is not to scare anyone. I just want everyone to be able to make an informed decision. Knowledge is power. If you know, then you can decide that I'm aware of this thing, but I still want to move forward with it and help this person. What does it really mean to co-sign a loan for somebody? When you co-sign a loan, you are not just a backup. You are a co-borrower. If that person does not make their payment, the lender will come after you because you are most likely the stronger borrower. If that person defaults and it goes to collection, it affects you as well. So before you make that decision to co-sign a loan for somebody, be informed, be aware. How does co-signing a loan affect you negatively? Number one, it can increase your debt to income ratio. If it's $2,000 they're paying monthly in mortgage, that reduces how much house you can buy by thousands of dollars. If that person misses payment, the lender is going to come after you to pay for it. If it goes to collection, it damages your credit. And in most cases, co-signing a loan ruins relationships because if you were misled, even if that person is making their payments on time, doing everything right, the fact that you were misled puts a strain on that relationship that you had with that person. If that person misses payments, it can affect when you can buy. And worse still, if it's a house that goes to foreclosure, it may be 7 years before you can buy your own house. Just some things to keep in mind. Now, how can you benefit co-signer? The biggest benefit, if they are making their payments on time, then your credit goes up. And if you had no plans of buying a house is like a 30-year thing for most people. So you may be tied up for those 30 years. The other thing too, if you decided down the road that you wanted to buy a house and primary borrower has been making payments consecutively for at least 12 months, then in most cases, the lender may not consider that when looking at your debt to income ratio. It will not be counted as one of your debt. If that person can show proof, like a bank statement or canceled checks, that they are the ones who have been making those payments and not you. They can take it off your debt to income ratio and then you can now qualify for a house without that affecting your debt to income ratio. But you are still liable for that debt until you are released from it. That said, when can you be released as a co-signer? If it is for a house, you get to be released when that person refinances or pay off their mortgage. They can decide to refinance whenever, but they have to qualify for that mortgage on their own. So if their situation does not change and they are not able to qualify for that house on their own, then you are stuck. For some smaller loans, like car loans, smaller student loans, remember I said small, some of them have a release clause where maybe after about 12 to 24 months, the co-borrower can be released. The primary borrower has to request that though. So before you sign, try to read the agreement. That way you know what is included. I have talked about the main things. Now, there are ways you can help somebody without being a co-signer. This may involve money. For example, you can decide to give them a gift when they're buying their house instead. You can offer to pay for services like credit repairs. You can refer them to a qualified lender who can guide them through the process or redirect them on how to build their credit, or you can send them to some reputable realtors like us, and we can advise them on what they need to do. I am not saying I do not recommend co-borrowers. I do that all the times too to people who don't qualify, but I always make sure I inform both the borrower and the co-borrower what they are getting involved in. This is Lesley, the Realtor. I try to give you as much information as possible. Give me a call if you have any questions. If you're ready to buy and you're concerned, you want somebody who can inform you before you make that decision, I am here to talk. 651-734-5045. Have a blessed day. Bye.